Hey everyone, Daniel Vadnal here for Fitness FAQs. In this video, I'm going to be covering wrist and forearm strength. If you're someone that's involved in calisthenics or you put a lot of pressure on your hands and your wrists, this video is a must watch because just stretching the wrist joint alone is only one half of the puzzle. You need to be strengthening up the forearm muscles to stabilize the wrist joint. Let me explain more. For most of you involved in doing handstands, doing push-ups, things of that nature, where we need to put the wrist joint into extension, we should strengthen up wrist extension. It literally is that simple. It really is that simple. That's physiotherapy 101. What position do we want to get in? We need to get enough range in that position, but we also need to be stable and strong in that position. So what I want you to do, keep doing your wrist mobility sequences. Keep working through wrist flexion, wrist extension, ulnar and radial deviation. That's fantastic, that's great. Don't stop doing that. What I encourage you to do as well, depending on which area of restriction, tightness, or pain that you have, I want you to spend time strengthening that position. Let's apply this concept to another area that people have issues with, which is parallel bars, dip bars, or parallettes. And that's when you're going into your things like planches, etc., where you're forced to work through ulnar and radial deviation. Same thing applies. You've done your passive mobility work to start with on the floor with the different floor drills. Then you want to couple this with some active mobility work, strengthening up the stabilizers of that wrist joint, the forearm muscles, in the position of interest, in the position of weakness for you, in the position that gives you pain or discomfort. This is the only way that you're going to get that range tolerable and comfortable when you're doing the exercises that are meaningful for you. Let's use one more range of motion which is relevant for the calisthenics athlete, and that is going into wrist flexion. Think of things where you've got an overgrip, such as a muscle up. If you find that that position is uncomfortable, really gives you some wrist joint pain, it's probably a combination of two things. One, you're not used to holding that false grip, so just practicing that in and of itself is going to improve that position, improve the strength, and decrease the pain that you're experiencing. But you should also take ownership of your body. Take ownership of increasing the stability of that wrist joint. You can do this by working through wrist flexion. So the exact same concept applies as before. We've got pain in a position, so we want to strengthen it and expose it to the demands that it's required of, strengthening up the muscles around the wrist joint. Stable wrist equals no issues when you're doing your muscle ups. You're watching this and you're probably thinking, Daniel, all this science, it sounds fantastic, it's great, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and do multiple sets just because I want to increase the strength of my wrist. I agree with you, it's pretty boring, but if you intelligently put it into your training program, you're not going to miss out on it. How many times do you just sit around for 2-3 minutes just doing nothing between your next set? This is the perfect opportunity just to do a bit of stability of the wrist joint. This is your time. If you just use 2 or 3 rest periods in a whole workout to get your wrist strengthening in, you're going to get it in. I'm not saying you have to go and do a separate session of wrist mobility or wrist strength. I understand what it's like. I know that your training is the most important thing to you and you need to integrate it into your schedule. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to show some love and show some support to Fitness FAQs, leave a thumbs up. And if you're interested in training programs written by myself, go to fitnessfaqs.tv and I'll teach you how to master your body. Thanks, guys.